hurt of only having one parent, or maybe even two parents that are struggling. She would love to heal all the hearts of children. She takes them in and loves them like her own, no matter what the circumstances. So please help me welcome Jackie with her speech, Children Need Love Too.
Have any of you ever adopted a child, or maybe just taken custody of a family member for a short amount of time? Can I get a show of hands? Just one? Oh, that breaks my heart. Go adopt a child. There's so many out there that need help. But that's awesome that you have helped out. I adopted a child at the age of 25. She was 12 when I was 25.
It's like, oh, that's a little kid.
Yeah. I was still growing up myself, and here I'm taking on essentially a teenager. I had a 4-year-old and I had my 2-year-old, both girls, and then I was married. I was taking 18 credits, maintaining a 4.0 at Indiana University. I was running the student programming board at Indiana University. I was working full-time as a restaurant manager. And I was breeding dogs. Thank God I had a husband, because I would have never been able to do any of that without him. I was asked to take this child in because she wasn't just any child, she was my niece. But she was my husband's brother's daughter. She ended up being the oldest out of 11 children. I couldn't save all 11 children, so I chose to take in the oldest. I figure if I took in the oldest and gave her the foundations, beliefs, and morals that she needed, it would be the pay it forward effect. And she could help all of her brothers and sisters. So no matter what I had on my plate, and then I was doing way too much as it was anyways, I decided to take her in. She was a mute at this time because she had been in foster care for 18 months, and she had been physically, sexually, and mentally abused. So she did not speak to anyone. It took about 6 months, and I broke her of all of that. I helped build her self-esteem. She went to a school, a new school, where she could be anyone she wanted, and I taught her that. And we worked on that, and she was popular, and that's not important, but for her it was. Because at the old school, she's mixed, black and white. She was too white for the old girl, or she was too white for the black girls, and she was too black for the white girls, and then the Hispanics spoke poorly about her in Spanish, so she didn't know. So she had no one. So at this new school, she was popular. Awesome, great. She got good grades. She joined sports. Everything was great. She had her uncle, she had me, she had her cousins, we had a beautiful home. Everything was perfect. But I'm not her mom. Still doesn't change that abandonment. So she had counseling. And we loved on her and loved on her. Everything was great. A year later, we ended up having to move to go and take care of my grandmother in Illinois. Moving, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So we took 1 step back, got a little more extra counseling in school and private, still worked on her, and she started to work on others in school. Because now when you're in junior high, we all know that's like the hardest transition. And so she had those foundations that I taught her, that now she was instilling in others that were struggling. Awesome. I'm so proud of her. Can't believe it. 3 months after we move, my husband leaves. So now she has the abandonment issues all over again because essentially her uncle left her as well. We ended up moving again, which takes another hurdle. And she's taking blow for blow, and she's still getting good grades, and she's still staying positive and in church. And I'm so proud of her because she's instilling light in others as I instilled light in her. So it's just love all over the place. Everything's going great. I buy a house. I say, look, Destiny, we're going to stay here for 4 years. You're going to go to high school here. We're not moving, I promise. Her 16th birthday. She comes home from school because she was throwing up. I said, what did you eat at school? She said, pizza and milk. Well, why would you throw up on pizza and milk? Let me get a pregnancy test. I think something's going on here. I come home on her 16th birthday with a pregnancy test, and sure enough, the worst thing could happen, and she is pregnant. She tells me the father of the child is 15. So now I'm a single mom raising 3 kids with one on the way. I'm gonna love here, I'm just gonna love, and God's gonna show us the way, and whatever is gonna be is whatever is gonna be. Whether I agree with it or not, abortion is completely out of the question, because she's 6 months pregnant. She's been hiding it the entire time. She looks like Rihanna, if anyone knows who that is. She's very thin and very, very beautiful. And she was hiding it the entire time, I had no idea. So we looked at adoption, and she said, okay, I'll go for adoption. But then when we went to go pick out the parents, she couldn't go through with it. No matter how many Teen Mom shows we watched, she would not go through with it. So she begged me to let her stay, and she said she would take care of the baby. And I said she could stay if she maintained a C average in high school and finished her high school education and had a job and took care of her baby. If she did all those 3 things, she could stay with me. She did not do those 3 things. She was getting in fights at school, she was not going to work, and she was spending a lot of time with a 22-year-old boy when she was 16. We found out that the father of the child was 21, not the 15-year-old. It was actually a 21-year-old that lived 8 blocks from my house at the local college. Didn't even know. Been sneaking out, had no idea. I was asleep, I had to work. So that was a very big struggle, but I had to let her go. And I think that's the hardest part, when you choose to love someone who's not your birth child. You choose to love them every single day, and it's sometimes the most difficult choice that you can make. But I personally, I don't regret a single day of it, because she's not doing well now. She lives in Indiana, and she got married right when she turned 18, and she dropped out of high school, and she has no future right now. But I know that I've instilled every tool that she needs to survive and be successful in life. Even though she may not be choosing to use all of those right now, I know that 5 years, or maybe it might take her 10 years, she will get back on that track, and she'll remember everything that I taught her, and she will give love to everyone else like I gave love to her, even though I have to sit patiently. And I want to solve all her problems, and I want to fix it all, and I want my grandbaby back, because I miss her very deeply. I know it's weird, I don't have that many wrinkles to be a grandma, but that's my baby. So I just encourage all of you, if you can ever take in a child, to love on them, because, you know, even though I did everything I possibly could in a time where things were chaotic, I know that in the long run it's going to pay off. It may not look like it now, and so many of you have children that I'm sure are struggling and choosing a path separate than what you've taught them and drilled in them, but don't be discouraged. They'll come back and get on track.